Hey there, gardeners. I thought you might like to see what's blooming in my spring garden, and I'll take you along. We'll chat about some of the photos I have here for you. So let's take a look. The hyacinths are so beautiful this year. Their smell is glorious, and I love this beautiful pink one. I have some purple ones that I failed to get a picture of, unfortunately. But they're so fun and so fragrant. This one started out this pink color and then turned a salmon color. And I forced these to bloom inside. Of course, the smell in my house is just glorious. But I've now planted them out in my garden along with the white ones, this beautiful lilac and white. And then coming up, you can see that the early pollinators are loving the grape hyacinth or the muscari. Now the hellebores or the Lenten rose just are outstanding this year. They started blooming around February, and the hellebores will bloom anywhere from February to May. I'm in zone 6B, so those early blooms are just thrilling to a gardener. And they're of course a perennial. They like a semi-shade area, and they're not fussy at all. They really don't want to be moved around much. They prefer not to have fertilizer, but they just like a good compost. So they're just a wonderful perennial and an addition to your early garden. They're so beautiful and so fun to have in the garden. I have quite a collection, as you can see. I just keep adding and adding. And then, of course, maybe your earliest bloomer would be your crocus. I failed to get, again, I don't know what's wrong with me, I failed to get a picture of all of the colors of crocus I have, but they are just so fun to look out and see, blooming early. Then there is the spring star flower, also known as the early snow glory or sometimes blue glory of the snow. They're just a little delicate bloom, so precious. I really enjoy having these in my spring garden. And then, of course, who can forget the beautiful tulips? This is a hybrid tulip. I fight the deer and I fight the bunnies with Repelzol. I kind of fend them off, fight them off, and so far we've done very well, because this is the same tulip that is open. This one opens, as do most tulips, in the daytime, so that it's great for the pollinators. And then you have your early pollinators, your bees coming out, and so they really need something to feed on. Beautiful tulip. And coming up is another tulip. It's called Strawberry Sunday tulip. So pretty. And then we come to our daffodils. Don't you just love daffodils? They're bright and they're cheery. They're so easy to grow. They're deer resistant for the most part. So just so fun. This one coming up is called Replete, and I do love the double daffodils, the double bloom, so pretty. And the one coming up is called, it's your largest bloom. Usually they're called Dutch Master. I believe this one is a Dutch Master. And there's a pollinator. Aww. I just love daffodils. And now we're coming up to the Tate daffodils, which are the small ones. I like to use these for naturalizing anywhere that I can. And there again, I fight the squirrels, I fight the deer. I had a whole flat of them that I planted last year, and I came out and many of them were uprooted by a squirrel, I'm assuming. But I think I won because I see them all over in near the river and things like that. Then we come to our violas and pansies. And as you can see, this is a smaller flower. This is a viola, whereas your pansies are a bigger flower. A viola sometimes are a little more hardy than a pansy, but pansies themselves, they stand on their own. Here's another viola. I love to fill in small spaces with violas because they're just small. You can tuck them in anywhere. And then we come to some pansies. You can see the blooms are quite a bit bigger. So fun and so cheery for your spring garden. More pansies. Coming up is a blue pansy. I absolutely adore blue flowers. And I love this one too. So pretty. And then coming up, these are wintered over from last fall in this little container here in this little clay pot. They just stayed right where they were, and they were tough. And candy tuft, speaking of tough, candy tuft always makes its way into my spring garden. And then this is a flowering plum tree that's blooming, so pretty. Blooms on the maple tree. And then the cherry tree is starting to bloom, yay! Of course, we see the forsythia, always a staple in every spring garden. Well, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe. I really appreciate your support, and have a great day. Happy gardening!